How's it going, everybody? JP here once again. Welcome back to a closer look at. This is basically where we take a Scream Factory release, review it from top to bottom, cover everything that release has to offer, and the one that we're tackling this time was released December 11th, 2012, and we're going to have a closer look at Death Valley. Okay, now Scream Factory does not include slipcovers or reversible cover art for their non-collector's editions, and this is the first non-collector's edition that we're reviewing. It is a Blu-ray and DVD combo. It has one Blu-ray, one DVD. They both have the same cover art. It's just your standard keep case, and there is no reversible cover art, but they do have stills from the film on the opposite side of the cover, so that is kind of a nice little touch. Overall, DVD combo gives it a half extra point, so 3 out of 5 for presentation. It shouldn't come as a surprise to say that I really don't like this artwork. First of all, the image itself, the lead actor's face, kind of looks cartoony, or better yet, a doll. It looks like a little toy doll with the mouth open like that. I really don't get it. I guess he's supposed to be in shock or screaming, but it really does make it look kind of silly. The only thing, I do like the reflection of the killer in his glasses. The font is very normal looking. This artwork really is not that good. It's actually kind of ugly. I will say it's actually kind of ugly. The original theatrical artwork, not so good. On the inside, of course, you have the disc art, which is just a close-up of the original art. Also, not a fan. So, artwork, 2 out of 5. We have a audio commentary with director Dick Richards, who sits down with Edwin Samuelson of the Cinephiles and AV Maniacs. I believe one of those is a YouTube channel, so check it out. This commentary really feels more of a feature-length interview. It is pretty much the moderator interviewing Dick Richards throughout the whole film, and you can see, you almost feel bad for the moderator because he's trying really hard. He's really trying to pull any sort of information or interesting story or funny moment from Dick Richards, but Dick Richards is kind of a tough interview because he doesn't really give very in-depth answers. He doesn't really elaborate on much. He kind of is kind of a one-note guy. He doesn't really delve into the behind the scenes so much. He usually answers the questions in the most simple answer possible. They talk about the MPAA at one point. The moderator asks, was there any problems or anything like that, because the MPAA was, going really hardcore in the 80s, and he's, just answers, nah, not really. So you get a lot of that, and it does lead to some kind of funny moments, because you can see this moderator kind of struggling a bit to just, keep the conversation moving. I'm surprised he didn't run out of questions, because it feels like he pretty much talks about and asks anything that you can possibly think of within the first hour of the film. So the commentary definitely leaves you wanting a bit more. I don't feel like I learned anything about the film, and that's usually what you go into a commentary for, to learn a little bit of the behind the scenes stuff, the funny stories, the thought processes, and overall just interesting topics about the process of making the film. And I don't feel like I really came out knowing anything more than I really went into it knowing, and I really don't know much about this film. He does talk a little bit about the casting and stuff, which was kind of interesting because, as you can probably see, Ralphie from A Christmas Story is one of the actors in this film. I believe his name is Peter something Billingsley. So yeah, I mean, I would have liked to hear some more talk about him. So yeah, that is pretty much it for the commentary. It's really kind of a bit of a boring listen. I'm not gonna, put it down too much because I just think that maybe there just wasn't that much to say about the film, or maybe Dick Richards doesn't really remember a whole lot about the film. He was also a bit hard to understand. I feel like his voice just wasn't very easily to follow at times, so that was a bit of a rough time trying to figure out what he was talking about sometimes, because his voice was just a bit hard to understand at times. So yeah, that's the commentary. Then we have the theatrical trailer, which, man, this trailer is really nostalgic. They really don't make them like this anymore. I actually really dug the theatrical trailer. I will say they give away a lot in the trailer, so if you haven't seen the film, then probably don't watch the trailer. And finally, a TV spot, which it wasn't really anything special. There is also a trailer of They Live and The Island on this disc as well. So that about wraps it up for the special features. I give them a 1.5 out of 5. The inclusion of the DVD copy gives it a half point. I was actually really impressed with the transfer for Death Valley. I was not expecting it to be as good as it is. Scream Factory delivers once again. The western terrain just looks so awesome. I just love it. It really does help with the atmosphere of the film. Just the crystal clear desert terrain, the faces, the clothes, the western town, the cars, everything just looks so clear. I really did love the transfer for this one. I give it a 4 out of 5. Death Valley from the year 1982 with the tagline of "Not even a scream escapes Death Valley." So Death Valley follows a young boy played by Peter Billingsley, who you might recognize from A Christmas Story, Ralphie, which is actually pretty damn cool that he's in this film. He's from the big city. His parents are going through a divorce, so he decides to go on vacation with the mother, played by Catherine Hicks, of course, from Child's Play fame, and her new boyfriend. They are out in the desert, so it's kind of like a little fish out of water thing. He's a young little boy with a suit and tie and stuff, and now he's thrust into the cowboy frontier world. And the stepfather, the new boyfriend, is really trying hard to communicate and impress the young boy, because he's trying to make it less awkward and really he wants to make a good impression so that they can become friends, so there's no problems with him dating the mom. And it actually comes from a very genuine feelings. You really feel for this guy. The young boy really doesn't want any part of it, but you can see that this stepfather's trying really hard to make some sort of connection and some sort of friendship there. And actually, it's very likable. All the characters are very likable, and I was surprised to see the stepfather being very, very likable. So, as they are journeying through the road, they stop at an abandoned mine shaft. There's kind of a murder that takes place there in an RV. The boy kind of uncovers something, and basically the killer is after the boy throughout the rest of the film. Overall, this film doesn't deliver on a whole lot of kills. It doesn't have a cool slasher villain. It's kind of just one of those films that was lost in time because it was never really excellent. It was kind of average. But looking back on it, it's kind of a fun film. It's a little, small slasher film, and it works. It works as that. If you're not looking for, super good kills and a super creative killer, plot line and stuff like that, you just want a cool little slasher film, this is your film. I really did enjoy this one, kind of. I thought that the western, frontier look was really awesome. The road horror stuff was cool. I liked all the characters. I thought they were all good, including, the local sheriff and the killer. I mean, the killer could have been way better. There's kind of a plot twist there you see coming a mile away. They kind of give it away at the beginning, so I guess it's not really a plot twist. They didn't really hide what they was doing with the killer very well. I don't think it was their intentions. There's actually some funny moments in here too. There's a babysitter who's just like kind of fat and hungry. So yeah, I really like Death Valley. It was a pretty cool movie. I give it a 7 out of 10. It's pretty solid for a little slasher. Scream Factory's Death Valley, my closing statements. The film transfer is very good. The film is a fun little slasher that I really did enjoy. Not much in terms of special features. The commentary is definitely skippable. The price tag is $14.99, which is kind of the reason I'm going to recommend this one. I think that that's a fair price. You're getting a fun little slasher, and the transfer is good. I wouldn't pay more than $14.99. I would definitely try to get it a little bit cheaper, but I'm going to recommend this one. So that about wraps it up for Death Valley, and I'll see you guys next episode for The Island.